Hi YouTube, Dumpster Dolly again. I just thought, what the heck, I'll make another video. This one is going to be a goth subject video because I haven't done any of those since my last few uploads, like about a week ago. This one is going to be about music, which most goths and me consider to be the most important facet of the gothic subculture as a whole. Now, this is not going to be an instructional video per se, but it's going to, let's say if you're just getting into the scene, guide you in the right direction musically, but remember to always explore your own personal musical tastes, and like whatever band you want is my main point, and has been addressed by many other YouTubers considering this subject. You're not forced to like any kind of music or any band just because they're goth, and you can listen to whatever you want even if you consider yourself a goth. You can listen to anything, but from country to techno to, pop, I don't know, like anything. Now, there are several bands that some might say, or will say, started it all. Now, these bands include, but are not limited to, Joy Division, Bauhaus, the Sisters of Mercy, Susie and the Banshees, arguably The Cure, and they started the gothic movement, let's say. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anything, but, those are the main bands that you should have probably heard about by now, unless you haven't done your research, because everybody who's goth, or has taken it seriously at least, knows about them. Now, you don't have to like any of these artists. Please forgive me. I do not want a thrashing right now, but I have never really liked Susie and the Banshees as far as sound goes. I have the most respect for them. I've actually posted about this on the Goth House forum. I respect them, like, to no end, because obviously they were one of the founding bands that made goth what it is today, and I wouldn't be who I am today and identify this way and, or find resources like this if it weren't for them. So obviously I'm going to respect them, and I'm going to learn about them, and I tried listening to several of their albums full way through, and I just never really got into their sound. I was just so afraid that all the elitist goths would tell me that I'm not a goth because I don't like Susie and the Banshees. I don't not like them, I just don't like their sound. I think Susie Sue is very striking, I like their look, like I said, I just don't particularly enjoy their sound. I would say it's because I prefer male vocalists as opposed to female, but my second favorite band happens to be of a female vocalist. I will address that later when I talk about my favorite bands. But anyways, getting into a bit of detail there, again, like I said about me and Susie the Banshees, you should at least, if you don't like that kind of music, or one of the bands in particular, a couple of them, just have respect for them and just research on them and like the work they've done, and try listening to their music a little bit more. If you really sure you don't like it, then that's fine. Like, what can you do? Everybody has their own personal taste, and just because you decide to be a goth doesn't mean you automatically subscribe yourself to all of these bands and listen to them religiously. That's not true. I personally very much enjoy all of the other bands that I've stated, but that's just me. You could not like any of them. I've met many people who are goth and who do not like any of them, but that's fine. Now, what makes me mad is that it's not a genre, but a lot of elitist goths like to call it baby bat music, which includes, but is not limited to, Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, and there was another one. Oh yeah, Him was the other one, who I actually do like. The other two, I don't really like them, but I do like Him. Not too much, but I do enjoy their music. Now, that's just complete bullshit and stupidity, because there's no baby bat music. When I was a baby bat, I listened to fucking Nine Inch Nails. Well, I still do, but I listened to Nine Inch Nails and like a lot of EBM and stuff, so I really don't consider that baby bat music, because I never listened to Marilyn Manson even throughout my atrocious baby bat years. Now, for those of you who are getting started in the subculture, obviously the bands I listed before, you should look them all up. You should give them a listen, see if you like them. Like I said, at least have respect for them, but again, explore your musical tastes. If you do not like that genre of music, try another sub-gothic genre of music. Like, a lot of gothic classical music is very nice sounding. I do like quite a bit of that. A good example of that would be Amber Asylum. You can look them up if you like. They're not too well known, but I do like them quite a bit because they're new classical. So yeah. And there's always Death Rock and Batcave. I mean, there's Specimen, there's Alien Sex Fiend, there's Cinema Strange, there's Bloody Dead and Sexy. There's a lot of death rock bands out there, which I enjoy also. Like, I have a very, very broad taste in music. I like everything, almost. And by almost, I mean I don't like top 40, whatever is popular right now, but that's just me. So if you like, you can look up all the subgenres of music in goth and see what you like best, and then, you know, Google the bands and give them a listen, or search for them on YouTube or whatever, and, you know, just see what fits your tastes. When it comes to music in goth, there is no should and shouldn't listen to. There's nothing you should listen to, and there's nothing you shouldn't listen to. There's no rules about it, you know, just know your stuff, that's it. Because remember, you wouldn't even know about goth if it weren't for those bands who started the movement in the 1980s. Now when it comes to my favorite music, I have a top 3. Okay, I'll just go 3 to 1 because it's more dramatic that way. Okay, my third favorite band is The Cure. I absolutely adore Robert Smith. I love his voice, I love his look. You know, they're just an awesome band, and they're like I said, they could be stretched to be a goth band. A lot of goths consider them to be one of the founding goth bands. I consider them to be a goth band, but that doesn't mean that they are, because they never really brought it up per se. And they have a lot of albums. I have all of them. I have their, you know, B-sides and, you know, all that stuff, their demos. So I listen to all of their music, and, you know, you should give them a listen. They have a lot of different sounds, actually, from album to album. They do have a generic theme sometimes, but sometimes they're just off the wall. Like, if you've heard The Top, like the album The Top, it's a little bit different from the rest of their albums. But of course, the Love Cats is on that album, so I absolutely love it. Now, my second favorite band is The Birthday Massacre, based in Toronto, where I live, yay! And they're coming in December, and their new album is being released this Tuesday. I cannot wait. I'm going to, like, get it right away, okay? Right fucking way. And I'm obviously going to see their show in December. I've never seen them live before. I feel really ashamed because I've, like, been a fan of theirs for about 5 years now. So I, like, need to go see them and meet them and, like, just tell them how awesome they are in general and how much they've influenced my life and my art and things like that. They're more of a synth rock genre. I think that's what it's called, synth rock. You know, it's like synth music mixed with rock music, like, you know, stuff like that. A lot of goths do like them. They have a really creepy doll, kind of reminds me of that kind of sound, and it's a sound I very much enjoy. So yeah, that's my second favorite band. And they have a female vocalist, so like I said, my second favorite band has a female vocalist. So I don't prefer all male vocalists, but I do prefer male vocalists over female vocalists a little bit, but that's just a little unneeded detail I threw in there. And my favorite band of all time, number 1, is Depeche Mode. Now, they're not usually considered one of the bands that started the gothic subculture, not subculture, but music movement that started the subculture, because they didn't start to sound a little bit darker until the late 1980s, as opposed to, you know, bands like Joy Division who started in the late 70s. But oh my god, their music is amazing. It inspires me, like, it keeps me going. Whenever I'm out, I'm like 90% of the time listening to Depeche Mode, all the time. I have to say my favorite album would be a tie between Music for the Masses and Black Celebration. And they're supposed to be touring next year, and I'm still waiting for them to announce when tickets will go on sale, so I'll be the first person to buy them for the Toronto show. Like, I want to be the first person. I want to be in, like, the friggin' mosh pit and, like, see them and sing along to all their songs, and oh. But yes, a lot of goths do like Depeche Mode, because of their, like, you know, ambient sort of, well, their earlier stuff is more synthy and more 80s new wave-ish, like kind of like The Cure, but not really. They have their own unique sound, and like I said, they got darker around the late 1980s. I haven't heard much of their newer work, but I do quite enjoy, like I said, their late 1980s, early 1990s era of music. Now I'm gonna keep babbling on about Depeche Mode for hours, and there's nobody in here to stop me, so, well, I guess I'll stop myself. Just remember to check them out if you haven't already. Now, some of the other music that I listen to includes, but is not limited to, Christian death. I knew it! I knew I forgot a founding member of the Gothic movement in the 80s. Christian death is another one. Combi Christ, Fear Cult, London After Midnight, 9 Inch Nails, Cyclone 9, Rammstein, Rob Zombie, Switchblade Symphony, System of a Down, The Tea Party, Tiamat, The Virgin Prunes, and VNV Nation. Now what you just heard are very, very few, in alphabetical order, of the, different artists that I listen to. Most of them are gothically inclined. I would have said a couple more that weren't very gothic, but that's not really the aim of this video. The aim of this video is to get you guys thinking about different kinds of goth music. Like some of the bands I named, like System of a Down, are not goth, but I do quite enjoy their music, and I have since I was about 14 or 15. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it opened you guys' minds a little bit. You know, remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I hope you liked the video. See you in the next one.